How's it? Let's get to your live show here. Let me first make sure that it's available for everybody. It is. And let's see here. All right. Give me 1 second while I take care of something. Hold on 1 second here. 1 second. All right. Let's get rocking and rolling here. How's it? How are you guys? I don't think I pressed this shirt as well as I should, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can take care of this tie here. All right, let's see here. Super. All right, let's get your live show today. Looking forward to getting your live show today. Let me also make sure that everybody. I know Sully never misses a live show. Let me go on Twitter and let me send this live show link to everybody first, okay? And then we'll get to the show in a second. Let's see here. Let me get a link for this live show here. And then I think this show we're probably going to extend it out here. We're probably going to have a little bit longer. We'll make this a 10 game live show. Okay. Yeah, I hope we have a great football weekend. We're going to make this a 10. We're going to make this a 10 game live show. So let me put that up there. And this is Friday, September 27th. Let me put this up on Twitter. So that is done. And let me go over to YouTube and send that link over to everybody as well. Create a post. Send that into the public. So that is done as well. And now over to YouTube Premium. So they all have it as well. And we're all set. All right, let's get to it here. Let's get to your, let's do it about 10 games if we can today. Rocky, great to see you. Rizwan, great to see you. Hello, YouTube Premium. Great to see all you guys. Twins money line over the O's. Yeah, so in this game, so for the Twins O's game number 1, Twins O's. In this game, I like Minnesota run line. Okay. Because Boston lost 1-10 to the Yankees. That lean was way off, by the way. I actually had the Yankees lean on that. Or I actually had Baltimore in that game. But the Yankees were off back-to-back losses, and they performed great against Baltimore, right? So Baltimore comes off that ugly 1-10 loss. And then Minnesota's off of that 6-8 loss against Miami. And then you have Povich and Lopez here. Povich wins 5 innings, 6 hits, and 2 runs against Detroit. 5 innings, 5 hits, and 2 runs. Or I should say, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs against Detroit, and 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs against Detroit. That's not bad. And then Lopez went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run to Baltimore last time. Lopez went 4 innings, 9 hits, and 7 runs against Boston, which was a bad game. Minnesota's off of a loss. Lopez is off of a loss. And they lost as a minus 248 favorite to Miami. Minnesota did, and that has to infuriate them. Plus, Minnesota gave up 2 home runs in their last game. I mean, Lopez did. And I think when you put that together, it does make sense for this game to be a Minnesota run line type of game. Okay, so I like Minnesota run line as your first lean today. Okay, moving on to game number 2. Let's see here. Minnesota versus Baltimore lean. Minnesota run line. Okay. Game number 2. Who's got it? Bama versus UGA. B, that's my 6-unit selection today. Or not today, but over the weekend. That is my 6-unit selection, so I can't really talk about that much. But we can talk about some other game that you'd like to as well. How's it, IC? Let's LFG 8-unit this weekend. Illinois versus Penn State. I lean on Illinois plus a 17.5. Now it's at plus 18. So moving that way makes me cautious. Yeah. So that Illinois game, obviously Illinois comes in this game. 76% of the public is on Illinois. That is very, very scary. Okay. Illinois comes in this game 4-0. When you look at the college football top 25 rankings, I think Illinois sits at, number 19 and number 21 now. Penn State, of course, is number 8 and number 9. Okay, so Penn State understands how the power rankings work. So if they're able to absolutely demolish Illinois, that'll be great news for them. Illinois comes off that big win over Nebraska and that win over Kansas. But of course, that win over Nebraska, bear in mind, was a revenge game for Illinois. Okay, and that was a bad loss for Nebraska. But Nebraska is turning around. There's no doubt about that. And then you have Penn State, who rolls in here. They're 3-0. They beat Kent. They beat Bowling Green and West Virginia, but they haven't really played anybody. So this is the perfect opportunity for them to absolutely rout somebody and to beat them. And I actually like Illinois. I like Penn State here, believe it or not. I do like Penn State. I do like Penn State. I think when you look at the returning players, when you look at Penn State here, they returned 5 on offense and 6 on defense. Okay. And Illinois returned 5 on offense, 5 on defense. But I think at the end of the day, I know this line is huge, but I actually have a Penn State winning by 19 or more for what it's worth. Okay. So Penn State versus Illinois. Lean on Penn State. And it's a fantastic public fade to boot. Okay. Game number 3. Who's got it? Let's see here. For game number 3, Bills versus Baltimore. Hey, Rocky, good to see you. So the Bills versus Baltimore game. This is a game that, so I like the Ravens here. I mean, what better way to wake up the league and to send a message and to post a huge win here? I got to be honest with you. Baltimore, I know, has looked sketch. I actually think Baltimore gets up solidly here for Buffalo. They understand that Buffalo is undefeated. I also think Buffalo has not faced a defense like Baltimore all year. And remember, Baltimore will learn what Arizona did successfully against the Bills when they had success against them in the first week. And I think when you put that together, and given the fact that Buffalo comes off a huge win against Jacksonville, who's terrible, and that win against Miami, who's terrible, who has Buffalo really beat? And I think when you put that into perspective, my lean here is going to be on the Ravens. Okay, so game number 3, Bills versus the Ravens. I like the Ravens here. Game number 4, who's got it? Nick, great to see you, my man. Sully, good to see you. Rizwan, Rutgers moneyline, Mr. Slate, great to see you. So the Rutgers game, this game goes off today. Washington versus Rutgers. What's interesting about this game is Rutgers, obviously, Washington won back in 2017, so no recent history. 3-1 and a 3-0 team. Washington, of course, beat Northwestern as a 12-point favorite. That says a lot about this team. Washington is not ranked, but they lost to Washington State. They beat Eastern Michigan and Weber, and then Washington only returned 2 on no one on offense and 2 on defense, which is remarkable. That coach is just fantastic, man. You got to give that coach a lot of credit. Rutgers, of course, coming off that huge win against Virginia Tech. Akron, Howard, they are undefeated to their credit. Rutgers, Virginia Tech came back in that game, but Rutgers was just solid, just absolutely solid. Of course, they have Shiano as a coach, and he's got that program. He's got they did get 5 votes to get into the top 25, which wasn't enough. They held Northwestern to 5 points. They held Eastern Michigan to 9, and with Washington held 5, 24, and 9, and 3. That's pretty phenomenal. Rutgers, of course, 23, 17, and 7. These are the point total that they held the other teams. The only thing that makes sense to me, I can see this game going either way. The only thing that sort of makes sense to me is the under, but I have no major lean one way or the other in this game. And the under seems really obvious too. if I had to pick a side, to be honest with you, it would actually be with Washington. I would lean on Washington because if there's any team that's getting better, it's Washington. They literally have only two players coming back, right? After Kalen DeBoer went over to Alabama, they had nobody coming back, and he's done this, and they're going to only gel as it gets as the time goes on and on. I like Washington here. I would not be surprised at all to see a Washington outright win. Why else is Washington only this much of a low underdog? I might make this my free play today. Um, you have to ask yourself, why is this? So I like Washington here. Yeah. Moving on. How's it Washington at Rutgers? I'm impressed Rutgers win over Virginia Tech. Yep. But here's sharp money's on Washington, maybe Rutgers. I agree. I absolutely agree, Virginia Bourbon. I think I like Washington too. Virginia Tech, Miami. I'm thinking I like Tech plus the 17.5. Well, I mean, that would make sense, right? Because that would make a lot of sense. By the way, it really bothers me that this corner. Let me ask you something. Does this bother you? Does that line right there bother you? I like this office better because the internet is a lot better. I don't think you care one way or the other, but I guess I could have moved it here, but there's a table there and it doesn't look as good. I don't know. I'll try to figure something out later. All right. So getting back to this, the smallest things bother me. Maybe the OCD in me. The Virginia Tech is 2-2, and Miami is 4-0. Back in 2014, Virginia Tech or Miami won 20-14. Virginia Tech is a desperate team, losing to Rutgers, lost to Vanderbilt in the original game. Those are two bad losses, okay? And the Penn State defensive coach is there. And Virginia Tech did not play well at all last game. Their quarterback passed for 137 to one interception. I think they'll play better here. Miami, of course, beat South Florida, and they beat Florida, 41-17. Manny, you have a coach that's, went 7-6 last year, so they're obviously playing better. Who does Miami have on deck here? They could be looking ahead, but of course it's Friday night, so I don't know. They have Stanford on deck. Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick a side, there's no doubt it would be on Virginia Tech. I think this is their Super Bowl. I think when is the next time they're going to be on national television like this? And I think that they played so bad in their last game, and I think they'll play better. I like Virginia Tech. I agree with you. Rizwan, Padres money line. So the Padres game, I don't think I have that one lined up. No, let me go over there and line this one up here. So the Padres game, again, Padres come in as a dog, losing back-to-back games to the Dodgers. Arizona comes in this game, winning 8-2. The last time these two teams played each other, Arizona took 2 of 3. So again, the Padres are a dog. They're coming in losing back-to-back games. Darvish here, he has not pitched against Arizona this year. He went 6-3-2, 6-3-0, 5-7-2, and winning 3 straight games, but 2 home runs in his last game. Okay. And then you have Merrill Kelly here, who rolls in with a 3.71 ERA. He has not pitched against San Diego this year, but he went 5-2-0, 6-2-1 against Colorado, 6-4-3, 7-6-2. I think the only thing, I don't know if Merrill Kelly, can he put together 3 straight quality starts? I think to me, the only thing that makes sense here is probably the over, because Darvish comes in as a dog, which means Arizona might have success, but then San Diego's off back-to-back losses as well. See, the only thing that makes sense to me here is the Padres versus Arizona, a lean on the over, okay? So game number 7, no, you're not a degenerate, man. You never miss a live show, which is awesome. Colts versus Steelers. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Slate, the Colts versus Steelers game, I like the Colts. I know Pittsburgh is a good football team. They're 3-0, and the Colts are 1-2. But the Colts won 30-13 last time, and I get that too. But the Steelers have revenge. I get that too. The Colts are in such a bad situation right now. But what do we really know about Justin Fields on the road? Yes, he beat my Atlanta Falcons on the road, but that was the Falcons' first game. The Colts also have Richardson, who went 10 for 20 last game with 167 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I'm telling you, he has to play better here. He just has to play better. And I think that is the reason why the score is so low. And, people know how bad the Colts played in their last game. But it's hard to go against the Steelers, and I get it. But, 65% is on the Steelers too. But I like the Colts here plus the 2. I think they show a lot of bite. I actually think this game goes over too. I think if I had to pick a side, it'll probably be on the over. because I hate going against the Steelers. So if I had to pick something here, it would be on the Colts Steelers over in this game. Okay, so game number 8. Greetings, I see. Hello, Enaldo. Great to see you. How's it, Miami versus Virginia Tech? Yeah, Michael, I like Virginia Tech plus the points in that game. How's it? UCLA, Oregon, late night under. So that UCLA game, the UCLA, yeah, Saturday night here, 73% on the over. UCLA, solid dog. 1-2, Deshaun Foster's team. Oregon beat Oregon State. They had Michigan State on deck. The last time these two teams played each other, Oregon won by 15. The first time these two teams are facing each other, Oregon, of course, is still undefeated, but they're not getting a lot of respect. I mean, they're 8th and 7th. Okay. UCLA played pretty well against LSU, 17-34. I think the only way to look at this game is to probably take Oregon, but everybody's on Oregon, which is scary. And then UCLA, 16, 13, and 17 points the last 3 games. 49 points for Oregon over Oregon State is a lot of points. I can't imagine. Oregon State's not a bad team, though. They beat San Diego State and they beat Purdue. Of course, Purdue lost 7-66 against Notre Dame. What is Notre Dame ranked right now, by the way? They're back up to 16-14. So that one loss against A&M is what killed them. I think this is a tough game, but I think the only thing that makes sense is Oregon gets an early lead and just sits on it, man. I don't think they want to destroy this team as bad as they do. They want to save some stuff off of Michigan State probably. So I agree with you. I got to take the under as well. So, and I think Derail, Andy, Travis, Nick, Jonathan, great to see all you guys. Things okay with the hurricane? Yeah. Being from the Southeast and Alabama, yeah, things are better. Things are better for the hurricane. Let me say hello to everybody else, and then I'll do a recap. Sorry, meant to say the O's under. No, I like Minnesota run line in that game. Okay, I like Virginia Tech today as well. Yep, Ravens, Bills. Yep, lean on the Ravens there. Twins under. No, Rizwan, I like Minnesota on the run line. Mr. Slate, Penn State, Illinois. I definitely like Penn State there. Maryland, IU, Jonathan. I'm going to actually recap it at 8 games. I'm trying to make sure anything else that I like that I know offhand. Ziel, great to see you. Justin Coonan, I like especially alignment. Yep, I agree with you, Justin. Edward, Rocky, my favorite play. Yep, I'll give you my favorite play right at the end here. Kansas City, Oklahoma State. Joey, Sully, Slate, Sully, King Me, Braves. The Braves game, I do have that one lined up. I'll tell you about that game. The Braves game, I like Kansas City with the value because they swept Washington. They need every game, as do the Braves. The Braves won 3 in a row. Singer and Fried here. Singer 3.73 RA, 5 innings, 7-6 runs against San Fran. A bounce back opportunity for him. He's had back-to-back poor starts, 4 home runs in his last game as well, which is bad. Fried here, 3.4 TRA, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run against Miami, 7.42 against Philly, 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs against the Dodgers, 2 for Fried. I can see an under here with 2 very motivated pitchers. But there's a lot of value on Kansas City here, so I can like Kansas City plus the 1.5. It's not bad value at all. So Kansas City versus Atlanta. I wanted to stop at 8 games, but if there's anything obvious that I like, that I knew offhand, I'm sharing that with you, okay? Let's see if there's any other obvious ones that I have piped in that I can share with you. Favorite play? Yep, Rocky, I'll tell you in just a second. Thanks for all you do. What's your favorite one? Yep, I'll tell you that. What's up? You think Florida State will beat SMU? In that game, I love the under in the Florida State SMU game. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, all right, let's get to your recap here. This is your recap here for the September 27th games. Game number 1, baseball, Baltimore versus Minnesota. I like Minnesota run line. Game number 2, college football, Illinois, Penn State. I like Penn State. Game number 3, NFL, Ravens, Bills. I like the Ravens. Game number 4, Washington versus Rutgers. I lean on Washington. Game number 5, Virginia Tech, Miami. I lean on Virginia Tech. In college football, game number 6, Padres, Arizona. I like the over there. Game number 7, NFL, Colts, Steelers. I like the over there. Game number 8 in college football, Oregon, UCLA. I like the under there. Game number 9, Braves, Kansas City. I lean on Kansas City plus the 1.5. That is my video today. Hope you guys are doing great. I will definitely have a daily video for you shortly in about 20 minutes. And hope you guys are doing awesome. And we have an 8-unit NFL selection this weekend. Pretty excited about it. We're 7-0 with 8-unit selections. think that'll do well. We went 4-2 on the football card last week, so hopefully we'll have some success this week. And of course, NHL is right around the corner as well, about I think 11 days away. Take care, fellas. Bye bye.